Hello everybody, what's up and welcome. Today we're going to be going over the E-League Grand Finals, and they were a nice set of matches indeed, played between Misfits and Nv. Misfits is going to be on the red team for this particular game, and Nv is going to be on blue. Misfits will be attacking first. Now, if this is the first time you're watching this, I'm going to remind you that you can always check out E-League's Twitch channel for the original VODs with the original casters and all the hype. Today we're just going to be doing some analysis and looking over the game. Now, we're going to see pretty much a default lineup here from Nv. Nothing too interesting. They do have a defensive Mei, which is pretty common on King's Row, not always run. But on Misfits, we have an offensive Mei. Now, offensive Mei is just a trap, and it punishes teams who extend up too far. So is Nv going to do this? Particularly the Reinhardt, especially. Coco can't walk up too far or he's going to get walled off. And that's going to basically be it. So there it is. He does actually step up too far. Specifically, by too far, I mean, see this corner here where the building ends? Stepping past that gives a great place for Mei to wall him off, because he can't get around the building, of course, at that point. So Coco's going to be picked off, and once you lose your Reinhardt early on in the fight, that's pretty much it. There's no way you can come back from that unless your team makes some seriously intensely large plays. But that's not going to happen on the side of Nv, so Misfits is going to take an easy point. Once that Mei wall went down and the Reinhardt got picked off, it was pretty much smooth sailing from there. But the Payload is going to be coming out of the garage pretty soon, and here is the point in the game. So Misfits just won their first push. That's going to give them the ultimate advantage, but it's just one fight. One fight isn't going to quite give you your ultimates. You see they're about 90% on most of their team, but they are quite a bit ahead of Nv. So they want to take this a little bit slow, wait for their ults to actually get up to 100% so they have that big advantage next fight. But Nv wants to push, and that's what they're looking to do here now. So they want to push before Misfits gets their big ultimates, but the Zarya on Misfits happens to get a lot of really nice spam off and gets her ultimate off earlier than she normally would have. Now, Nv didn't have a response to that, and you can see how close that fight was. If we just do a freeze frame right here, we see so many players starting to die on the side of Misfits, and this fight would have definitely gone Nv's way. That was a really good push by them, going early, trying to get in there before Misfits got their ultimates off, but the clutch Zarya ult, just charging that ult so fast, made it so Misfits took the fight very easily. No defensive ults up for Nv at that time. Harry Hook has his ultimate now, but he didn't have it up for when it mattered. But Misfits pushing along at a brisk pace, 4 minutes and 30 seconds still left on the clock, coming up to the last checkpoint. That's pretty big. But we're going to see that the ultimates are actually relatively even. Zarya ult is up for Nv, so that's an advantage, but they used a lot of resources the last fight. Let's see how they do here. So the wall is going to break up the fight. It's going to save Misfits from taking a lot of damage through this Zarya ult, so that's quite big. But we do see a Lucio ult come out for the side of Nv. It's not going to block much. Came out a little bit too early. That's going to let the Reaper do a ton of damage. So the Reaper is going to get a triple kill on soon. By the way, did great this finals. And that's going to be the second checkpoint for Misfits. So that was obviously a very important fight. Put Misfits way, way, way ahead in this match. What happened? Now, Nv only has 2 ultimates. The ultimates are very, very close. They have to know this because they were keeping track. Both teams pretty much blew everything last fight. They only have Lucio ult and Zarya ult up here to work with. They need to use these to the full extent of what they can accomplish, basically, to win this fight, because that's all they have available to them. So the Zarya ult comes out, and it's actually quite nice. You can see it catches a lot of the teams, a lot of Misfits, and forces out their Lucio ult. Nice potato quality here, by the way, on the stream. And that's great. That's great. But now you see the Lucio ult come out for Nv, and you can even see here on all their players, you can see this blue bar. You can see how most of the players have that blue bar full, and it's not actually protecting them from much damage. If he had saved his ultimate, because right now no one's dead yet, right? If he had saved his ultimate for right now when they actually started to take damage, now he was a little bit antsy, I can understand, but if he had saved it for right now, he would have blocked all of this damage coming in from soon, and that would have almost certainly turned the fight in Nv's favor, because now Tailspin actually has his ultimate up. But so again, if the Lucio ult had come out earlier, they would have been able to stall for time, do a lot more damage. Their players wouldn't have died. Tailspin would have been able to get his ultimate off, and they would have won the fight. But because that didn't happen, they lose, right? But Tailspin still launches his ultimate off, which is going to cause some troubles potentially later, because a Mei ult is absolutely huge, especially in this last part of King's Row, this last area here. It's a very, very confined space, perfect for Mei's ult. But now Nv will not have that, so they actually just switch off of the Mei, so they will have the no Mei ult that they should have probably had here. Now this Reaper is actually quite vulnerable here. He probably should have been slept by Chip Sajin on Nv, on that Ana, but the sleep doesn't come out, so he's actually going to get in quite a bit of damage and taking out the Ana himself before finally going down. But that was still more damage than he probably should have done. He was in rather deep there, but again, a Mei ult would be very, very nice. Probably would have just straight up sealed the deal, no problem. But we do see that Misfits have a large ult advantage. Here they come. Here comes the Earthsetter. Here comes the Mei ultimate, and there's just no way to fight through this without. And I come back to the Mei ultimate. I know I'm picking on it a lot, but it would have been very, very nice there. Definitely would have decisively turned this into Nv's favor. But we still have a fight going on. And at this point, we do see a couple go down. So Taimu does pick off a couple from Misfits, and the spawns come out. And this should be... Oh, no. Oh, boy. Let's just get instant replay. Instant replay on that. Whoops. Oh, dear. Well, that was obviously embarrassing, but the real issue here is we see Coco and Internet Hulk both leave to do something. Now Internet Hulk was probably the one who was supposed to be handling the cart. Ana gets a nice kill on him, which really shouldn't have mattered, but that winds up actually pushing the cart. So when you're in that situation where you only have, 0.85 meters, that's less than a second. That's like half of a second of one person just ninja pushing it. Definitely more priority, more emphasis should be on crowding the point, because at this point you can't really lose the fight. That's impossible. There's no way that overcrowding the point is going to put you at a positional disadvantage, because you can't lose anyway. It's like 6v2 or something. So definitely crowding on the point when you're in situations like this, only 0.85 meters away, just to make sure this can absolutely not happen. It should be just standard practice, but instead of just letting Internet Hulk be like the solo point holder. But Misfits do wind up taking the point. Now that little stunt by Hidan, getting that ninja push, and the mistake from Nv letting that happen, basically gave Misfits at least 1 minute advantage, more like a minute and a half, probably 2 minutes, because even if they had respawned, because remember, they have to respawn, go up, walk up, get into position for the push, get ready for the push, win the fight, deal with the stall tactics. So even if they had just immediately gotten up, won the fight, and kept pushing, that's still at least 1 minute, 1 minute and 30 seconds that they would have to use up on the clock. So even though they should be at about 2 minutes, now we see Misfits is at 4 minutes, which is going to be very, very difficult. That's a huge number to beat. But it is now the second round. Nv is attacking. They're running a Pharah Mercy combo. Now, this is good for more battles of attrition, longer battles where you're trying to win the poke war, especially the Reinhardt shield war, because those 170 damage AoE rockets are just great for, as I said, poking out the other team, and they are indeed winning it. So even though Nevix does get a nice pick on Coco, we do see a return kill on Misfits' own Reinhardt, and the Pharah is just doing a lot of damage. You can see if we quickly pause, Soon and Hidan on the Ana and Reaper have already taken quite a bit of just random damage, random poke damage, which is going to give Nv quite a bit of an advantage as they come in here, and they're going to wind up taking the point, or at least getting control of the point. Misfits will be coming back onto this point. They have the Ana ult, and she's going to use it on the Reinhardt, which is going to have a lot of hit points, a lot of EHP, a huge amount of stall. Going to let the rest of the team come in and try to get a position. Here comes the Lucio ult, and here's the fight. But here, absolutely brilliant move about to come out from Nv. Just really, really great strategy. Notice Taimu and Tailspin both have ults. Those would be pretty useful here, but they're not going to use them. Not going to use their ults. Instead, it looks kind of strange at first if you look at it. Well, they're just sort of rolling over and dying, but that's why. That is exactly how you use a Mercy ult. You don't want to burn unnecessary resources. You want them to come in. So you saw the Misfits came in, burned everything. They have nothing over here, no more ultimates. The Mercy refreshed the fight, and now, even though they have this positional disadvantage, they're all sort of sitting ducks here, they have their own ultimates, and that's going to let Nv turn this fight in their favor very quickly and very easily. You see just a easy cleanup, no real problem there. Just a quick Zarya ult plus Pharah ult, and easy cleanup. So as the payload comes out of the garage, I want to quickly talk about time in Overwatch. So time is obviously a resource, and Misfits has a ton of it. Again, 4 seconds left on the clock. Finishing King's Row is just insane. It's immense. So they will be looking to play very safely here. The last thing they want, the only thing they can do to really throw this game away at this point, is to let Nv push them in and just roll them over as hard as, well, they got rolled over themselves. And so to prevent this, Misfits is not going to play in the most sustainable way necessarily. They're going to burn some unnecessary ultimates, like you saw there that Ana wound up ulting the Reaper, which is a little unnecessary, but just extra super safe, making sure you don't lose these fights. Even if you eventually lose in the long term the ultimate war, that's okay because you have that huge time advantage. So as long as you stop some pushes, you wind up ahead in the end. But you see they're going to stop more than some pushes. They're actually going to stop quite a few pushes as Soon gets back there with his Reaper, and that's just a good show. By the way, this Resurrection is not the res. So if we look at this Resurrection, so there really isn't anything up that could be useful to get out of this Resurrection properly, because the Lucio is a little bit too delayed. So this Resurrection comes out, but it's not going to really do anything because it's only a 3-man res, so it's still 3v6, and they don't have any of those big like Zarya ultimate, even a Reaper ultimate. They can just immediately break you out of that position because when you res, you are in a bad position. But back to what I was saying before, Misfits just trying to play safe. They don't really care if they use too many ults on a fight as long as they are protecting themselves from getting completely rolled over. Now, Soon is going to jump in a little bit too, well, soon. But it's not too big of a deal because, like I said, Nv is going to be winning on ult economy because Nv is trying to get these pushes in. They're trying to be smart with their ults, whereas Misfits are just trying to use them to secure fights. It doesn't matter if they eventually lose in the long run because they have so much time that they can manage it. But here we go, Misfits trying to go for the retake on this second checkpoint. Now they do have Ana and Reaper ult up versus no real defensive ults from Nv. This is going to be huge. It's all about Soon. How many kills can he get? And wow, so he goes down early, but he gets 3. And so that's definitely enough. 3 is a sufficient number of kills, certainly by Soon, to secure his team the fight. And that's almost a match winner right there, because this is a long walk for Nv to get back to the second checkpoint. Stopping the cart here is the best thing you can do on King's Row because it actually gives you a spawn advantage as the defender because the attackers have to walk such a long way from spawn. You can see that. But Misfits has Zarya ultimate up versus, again, no defensive ultimate. So even though the Ana ultimate is up for Nv, Zarya is just going to clean it up. Especially, so the last thing that Coco should have done in Reinhardt, now I understand that he was Ana ulted and he had to utilize the ult as much as possible, but the Reinhardt was the only answer that Nv actually had to stopping the Zarya ultimate. With no Reinhardt, you can see the McCree dies, the Ana dies, the Lucio dies, almost everyone dies to the Zarya just immediately. Here we go though, potentially the final push, the final good push that Nv has, but they have their own Zarya ult up now. And although the camera wasn't really looking at the fight, I can only assume that the Zarya ult put them in a good position to clean the fight up. They got 2 kills, now here comes the third. A little bit of an unnecessary Lucio ult there, but Nv, I guess. So, like I said, there's times to play safe, and there are also times to play unsafe. So Nv is at a huge disadvantage right now, obviously. They're already 2 minutes down right now. They're 2 minutes down, and the clock is ticking away. Using the Lucio ult was an extremely safe move, basically saying we definitely want to win this fight. We don't want anything bad to happen. But Nv is not in a position to be able to play safely. They need to take risks. They need to shave seconds off this clock. They can't rely on just holding the first point for 5 minutes or something, 4 minutes. But we're going to see that Taimu actually goes huge with his Reaper ult, and that's going to let Nv kind of push through here. So it is potential. They do have a potential to finish this with time still left on the clock. But Zarya ult and Reaper ult is going to be up for Misfits with no real defense on Nv. Now, the Reinhardt shield is what they have. That actually looked pretty dangerous. That looked like a 6-man Zarya ult right there. But let's see what they do. Here's the Zarya ult. Now, again, no Reinhardt. Reinhardt's over here somewhere. So no Reinhardt to block this is going to basically mean everyone in here dies immediately. And new Lucio ult as well. But again, Lucio ult is not even that great at stopping Zarya ult anyway. So because of that, it looks like Misfits is going to take this fight and one more push, pretty much one more push available to Nv. But here we go. Looks like Misfits has all the advantages. They have the positional advantage. They have Ana Reaper ult coming up very soon. I think they'll be using it just about now. There we go. But really nice sleep from Chipshagen. Very, very clutch there. But the Mei ult comes out as well again from Misfits. But nice kiting back plus Lucio ult to save them on Envious' side. But trades go out back and forth, and trades do favor the defender here. But Nv still looking pretty strong. Internet Hulk just got up his ultimate, and Lucio was already burned for Misfits. So, again, I'm not sure if that Lucio was 100% necessary because it looks like no one was really saved by it. But let's see if we can get a big Zarya ult. That should be at least something good. So we do get, I think it's a 4-man Zarya ult. And actually, 2 kills come out from it, so that's pretty decent. But still quite an uphill battle. Spawns are coming out. We need to get some kills really quickly, and here they come. By the way, Nv just playing very, very, very well. Tailspin does some spinning. Taimu does some, mooing. And Nv just pretty much clicks some heads and get through that. By all intents and purposes, they really should not have won that fight from just a purely strategic position. But they managed it with the individual outplay, so that was quite impressive from them. But despite that, they are still left with 0 time on the clock, meaning they need to hold Misfits for 4 minutes and 3 seconds on this first point just to tie it, just to go into a tiebreaker, which is King of the Hill, best of 3 King of the Hill for this tournament. Now, again, I was talking about time and how time is a resource. Now, there's a balance. There's a balance in this game. You want kind of a quick push, a quick team. And that's why Lucio is so good, because he gives your team speed to do more pushes in one game. You want to have a balance between speed and actual effectiveness of your push. So usually it's a bit of a balance. Pretty fast pushes with Lucio while still having a pretty solid team. But in this position, Misfits has 4 minutes just to take the first point. In this case, they don't need speed at all. They just need one big effective push. Doesn't matter how long they take, because 4 minutes is enough time to do anything. So I actually don't like the Lucio here, because Lucio is not very necessary. Lucio is actually not that strong of a hero if you take out the fact that he gives you more speed and just more pushes, faster pushes. They don't need fast pushes. So this should really be either a Mercy or a Zenyatta. But here we go. We finally pushed up. We're going to start our first fight. Now, remember, May's on both sides. The defensive May almost gets a pick. The offensive May almost gets a pick, again, with the walls. Lots of fighting going on. Can't see much. Who can click heads better? Nobody knows. Around and around we go. But it looks like some trades come out. 1 kill for Nv, 1 kill for Misfits, 1 kill for Nv, 1 kill for Misfits. We are trading, and trades favor the attacker on the first point of King's Row. Now, I did say that you don't need a lot of fast pushing, but while they have the Lucio, they might as well utilize them to get a really fast push in here and get a really nice 6v4. But looks like we're just sort of chilling out. They're not really utilizing the advantage that they could have had. If they had just immediately pushed out there and really pretty much the only use for Lucio is fast pushes. So if they're going to run a Lucio, they might as well be doing the fast pushes. But we're going to come in here with a fair 6v6. They're going to be ulting the Reaper, but the Reaper himself has no ultimate. Now, again, that's a bit strange because normally in that case, when the Reaper doesn't have an ultimate, you want to ult the Reinhardt because the Reinhardt will get his ultimate up very, very quickly, much more quickly than he is designed, I guess, to have it because of all the damage that it gives him. So, RYB not getting the ultimate there like he maybe should have, so he's only sitting at 74% ultimate. Now, we've already burned, if we quickly take a little time check, we've already burned almost 2 minutes on the clock, but by the time this push actually hits, it will be 2 minutes. Yet, Misfits has really no advantage to speak of. They don't have a really great economy as far as ultimates go. They have no real advantages, not utilizing their time, but it looks like we have another push going on right now. The offensive May didn't get any picks, but we do see Taimu just pushing through there with his Reaper ult. Now, a Lucio ult comes out, and that's a questionable Lucio ult. So Lucio ult does come out from Misfits as well as a Reinhardt hammer. It seemed like there's a bit of miscommunication there because the Zarya seems to be holding her ultimate. If we look here, so the Reaper, so Soon and the Zarya both have their ultimates for the entire fight, and it didn't look like they had any intention of using them. Meanwhile, the Lucio and the Reinhardt both used their ultimates. So it seemed like half the players had an idea that they were saving their ultimates, the other half had an idea that they were using them. And I think if they had used them all, they would have won the fight, and if they had saved them all, they would have almost certainly won the next fight. But going half and half is not going to do you any favors. But like I was saying, what you can do in this situation, when you have 4 whole minutes, you can just build a giant wombo comp. It doesn't matter. You can build just the strongest ultimates in the game that all wombo together, slowly march up, get 6-man ults, and just do an unstoppable push because you have all that time. You don't have to be running this sort of balance between strength and speed like we were talking about before. But 1 minute 30 seconds, only 2 pushes left. We do see that a nicely placed Mei ult is going to freeze all of Misfits, and they're running out of time. We're going down to 1 minute here. Only 1 minute for Misfits to take this point. Misfits just have to play slower, kind of go for picks. Again, still here, you have 1 minute left. This is maybe your last push. You should use the time. Make sure you have that ult economy. Looks like they do it. They have the ult advantage, so we're going to be pushing in here. Now, depending on how this fight goes, this could be the last fight. Both Mei walls look like they miss, but looks like we're going to go in here. Mei ult comes out. Now, this Reaper has ultimate. Lucio ult's going to go off, but only get 2 heroes for the side of Nv. And if we look at that one more again, so there's the Lucio ult, and this is it. These are the only 2 heroes that got ulted. And that's going to perhaps cause a problem this fight. But here we go again. The Reaper has ultimate for Misfits. Nice, sick, honestly, amazing charge by Coco. Gonna pick him off. Going to give Nv a huge advantage coming to this. RYB, the Reinhardt for Misfits, almost goes down, but he gets nano boosted and healed. But whoa. Okay, let's actually look at this. So the Zarya actually gets nano boosted for Nv instead of the Reinhardt. Now, it looks like, so if we look at Anna's sightline here, I think that the Reinhardt definitely should have gotten the nano boost because really Zarya is not that great of a target. I don't know if that was an unintentional nano boost because if you look here, that's actually pretty dicey of an angle. If you're familiar with Anna's targeting reticle, it is possible that this was an accidental nano boost on Internet Hook. But either way, I think if this was on Coco, it would have been quite a bit more significant. But we're going to see that the Zarya does not actually do too much with the Nano Boost, but RYB, on the other hand, for the side of Misfits, does a tremendous amount. And so we're going to see just a combination of small mistakes from Nv. The small Lucio ult, the relatively small Nano Boost, is actually going to wind up giving Misfits this point. But Misfits almost, through just rushing and trying to go too fast, almost choked this one out. Nv actually almost took the tie, not the match necessarily, right? But honestly, if Nv had taken this 4 minutes on the first point, I think they would have had so much momentum that they almost certainly would have won the tiebreaker, or at least had a pretty good chance to. So that was map 1 of match 1 in the E-League Grand Finals between Misfits and Envious. I will be putting up the rest of the maps as well if you want to check out more analysis videos. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, maybe even had a little bit of fun. Good luck in solo queue and have a great day. Peace out, guys.